When I find that Stibbons, he will hear an earful from me. How dare he think he can just vanish and leave me all alone? He'll be punished severely for this. Quite severely.
I'd like to have a word with the mages who said the portal to Coldharbour was a fine idea. We ended up scattered all over the place.
Urki's heart.
Ah, look around you. See how the people brighten the streets with their very presence. It is good to have this place inhabited once again. Your actions have caused beneficial reactions. Those you saved found others on their way to the city, and the mages have opened stable portals to Nirn, bringing aid to Coldharbour. The city thrives, thanks to you. King Dinar and Varnus have begun to rally the troops. They have called for a council to meet here in the Hollow City. There are decisions to be made, plans to draw up. The time for war fast approaches, and we need to be ready. I sense other lights trapped in the darkness. Their exact locations are hidden from me, but I can hear their desperate pleas for help. You must choose. Will you seek out more allies, or will you allow the War Council to begin? You shall find the Ayleid King and the Mage inside the cathedral. They await your arrival. Once you enter the cathedral, the preparations for the final assault to save Nirn will begin.
Did you really just leap down into this slime pit? You're either remarkably brave or really stupid. I guess a little of both. Of course he did, the skinny weakling. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be in this mess. A Dremora mage runs the place. Clouds minds, breaks wills. I can't get my soldiers organized. Oh, the fat bastard Ogrims dragged away my friends. We joined the guild together. It ain't right them getting tortured by Ogrims. You rescue Sinfrey, Borgath, and Vikord. I'll find Overseer Aruz, and then you and me can deal with him permanently. Of course you do. Just make it quick. Me? Not much. No one pushes Scordo around. But the others? They chip away at rocks until they drop and get tormented by Ogrims. Some even have their souls yanked out. Turns them into empty husks. I wouldn't wish that fate on an elf. We tried, but... well, this place is strange. Most of us just gave up, lost our will to resist. It doesn't affect everyone the same way, but it does make it hard to organize. Maybe if you shake things up a bit, we can snap out of this. Maybe. What do I look like? The social committee? There's a bunch of prisoners down here from all over the place. There's even a Dremora. Probably pissed off Molag Bal. But I don't really know, and I don't really care. Well, she isn't a guard, but if she's a prisoner, the Ogrims certainly don't give her any grief. To tell the truth, I'm curious about her myself. I've noticed she's been watching you since you dropped in on this little party. It wasn't just me. A whole group of us got caught by the Daedra. We teleported into Coldharbour to take the fight to Molag Bal, but that didn't work out so good. We're down here, our captains are upstairs, and we're all up to our necks in Ogrim dung. What do I look like? We try. What do I look like? Well, she isn't a... It's a prison pit. Aoife's the Unraveler runs the place. He loves the sound of his own voice. They split us up. Some of us are down here, but our captains, Isleram and Arak, they're upstairs. A locked passage keeps us apart.
A new guest has joined our little party. And will you provide amusement and interesting diversion? I think you just might at that. It speaks. I suppose I should be impressed that one of your kind even dares to approach me. Pity. To think they'd miss out on this fascinating conversation. Oh, little mortal, you amuse me so. Surely you have more important things to do than waste time with me. Aren't there rocks that need to be chipped or bugs to be swatted? Perhaps you need to mutter to yourself and wander around in circles. Most of the guests here suffer from one or more such afflictions. If you linger long enough, perhaps you will adopt one of these distinctive quirks. Or perhaps not. I will continue to watch with interest to see what develops.
Did you hear that? The whispers. They whisper terrible things in my
I'm
ears.
drinking mead. Well, I'm pretending to drink mead. But it tastes pretty good. Now I'm eating fried guar. Yum!
Scordo sent you, didn't he? Thank Tall Papa. Let me just grab a weapon before I go to meet Scordo at the rendezvous. Maybe I'll take out an Ogrim or two on my way.
As your mind unravels, try to dwell on your fear and suffering.
Scordo set up a rendezvous point in the north part of the pit. I'll see you there. Damn, she didn't make it. Find your ancestors, friend, and know that Vikord will avenge you.
If you enjoyed your flogging today, please remember to thank your Ogrim tormentor.
How did it go? Are my companions safe? Damn. Orgath was a good soldier and a good friend. Thanks for helping the others, though. I've been watching for Overseer Oruz, but he hasn't come out of his chambers yet. We need to get his key. The key opens the passage to the next level. That's where they took Captain Isleram and Captain Arak. If there's a way out of this Ogrim dung pit, it's up there. Once you get the key, you need to head upstairs and find Captain Isleram. Hey, Oruz! I owe you one! For Borgath! Grab the key. It's in that chest over there. I'll go back and check on the others. Meet me by the passage door.
mortal. You are a curious creature. You don't really expect me to answer that, do you, little mortal? Needless to say, it amuses me to bide my time here and observe your plight. No need to concern yourself about my safety, though, for the lesser Daedra will not harm me. Oh, yes! Watching them has been very entertaining. They struggle in a web they cannot see, and it makes me laugh. You mortals. So easy to manipulate and so much fun to play with. No, little mortal, I am neither your jailer nor your tormentor. I am merely a disinterested observer who finds some tiny enjoyment in your predicament. Even if I cared to explain myself to you, I doubt that you would understand. The politics of Oblivion are much too convoluted for your primitive mortal mind to comprehend. I will not hinder you, dear mortal. Consider that to be help enough for now. Know this, however. The exit from this place is currently unavailable. I suspect you will rectify that in the very near future.
Spies. There are spies everywhere, and assassins. Scordo, he could be one of Auroch's assassins. You could be one of her spies. Never trust an orc or a spy. Blessed Lecky, I just don't know who or what to believe anymore. This place is getting to me. All of us. That's what any competent spy would say. Wouldn't hurt to prove you're not an illusion or a spy. Tell you what. My sword is back there with the Ogrims that attacked us. You get my sword for me and we'll talk. Meet me near Auroch's camp. This place, it does things to your mind. Auroch's gone mad. Says I killed her second in command. She attacked us and ran off. Now she has her own camp to the west. She keeps sending spies and assassins to kill me. Before this place made her crazy, Auroch was a good friend. Now, I need to get Auroch back on board, or get her out of the way. Then I can get everyone out of here. I'll head over and talk to her again. It's my sword, and my father's before me. I dropped it while fighting one of the Ogrims. If you aren't an illusion, you'll recover it for me. If you are an illusion, I figure you'll disappear and that will be the end of that. The Dremora dragged us down here and split us up. Easier to maintain control, I'm sure. I know the Dremora are using mind tricks against us, but the constant torment gets to you. It wears you down. Makes it hard to think straight.
everyone.
You weren't an illusion after all. Scordo also vouched for your existence. He doesn't vouch for anything, so you must have really impressed him. I almost expected you to stab me with it, not hand it to me. Hard to trust anything in this place. But as you can see, we have a situation developing here. Uruk can barely refrain from attacking us. We need to fix this now. Uruk says she can't stop the voices without her helmet. She said the eyes have it. I think she means the Watchers. Maybe the helmet will calm her down. Thank you for doing this. Sinfei wanted to retrieve it herself. But to be honest, we're not at our best right now. None of us could survive a battle with a Watcher.
Place. It does strange things to your mind. How do I know you aren't just a distraction so Islerim can slip behind me and stab me in the back? Wait, this is my helm. So confused. But Islerim did kill my friend Ifriz. You killed Ifriz, Islerim. What else could there possibly be left to talk about?
Get a hold of yourself, Uruk. Ifriz isn't one of ours. He's the bastard that runs this place. We're being manipulated. Here's our roster. You won't find Ifris on it.
Let me see that. I'm sure I knew him. Didn't I?
We need to figure a way to get out of this tower of lies.
Who's that? Is that a Dremora?
I grow weary of this situation. It's time to put an end to Ifris's interference. You need to kill Ifris. I need him dead. It seems we have a common goal to discuss.
Help from a Dremora? Why, doesn't that reassure me?
We share a common problem, little mortal. It only makes sense that we work together to solve it. Do either of us have any other options? Ifris created the barrier that blocks the way out of this prison. Eliminate Ifris and the barrier collapses. But you must find Ifris if you are going to kill him. How sweet of you to ask. Ifris hides behind illusions. I have removed them. He has something of mine. I want it back. Kill him and both our problems are solved. But hurry. He will soon discover his defenses are down and hide himself again. Ah, little mortal. I have already provided more help than you deserve. The rest, as they say, is up to you.
Mortal weakling! I don't know how you got past my illusions, but it would avail you nothing.
Well done, little mortal. You killed Ifris, and I didn't have to lift a finger. Delightful. You and I will meet again, I think. I look forward to seeing what trouble you get into next.
By Malakath's bloody mace, I feel so much better. That unbearable cloud of fear and confusion has finally lifted. I assume that this is your doing? I figured. We started sending people through the portal as soon as the barrier collapsed. There's a city nearby. We saw it before we were captured. We're going to try to regroup there. Just making sure the stragglers get to the portal. By the way, you impress Scordo, which isn't an easy thing to do. Find him on the other side. He wants to talk to you. Take a look at the crystal we discovered. Ioram thinks it may be one of the lights of Meridia the Mages Guild told us about. If it is, it could be invaluable to our efforts here.
You helped us get out of that terrible place. I won't forget that. You could have just taken care of your own business in there and left us to our fate. But you didn't. I owe you. If that strange city over there has a tavern, the first drink's on me. And thanks.
Scordo, you're free. By Ifri, you don't know how relieved I am to see you.
If you had half a brain in your head, you'd run and hide.
I'm really sorry, Scordo. I didn't mean to cause so much trouble.
You led an army of Daedra right toward us. You ignorant, scatterbrained, sorry excuse for a wood elf weakling.
I'll never do anything like that again. I promise.
Thanks again for your help. Now, excuse me while I go find that good-for-nothing wood elf and introduce his backside to my very large boot.
You saw Queen Irene step out of the orrery? What a wondrous thing.
Look, intruders. I want that one over there.
Down your weapons. We can think of things. Moloch Ball will reward me when I add you to his army.
No! Stibbins is mine! You won't take him from me!
Thank you. Let's meet by the Way Shrine, just east of this tower. I'll be fine. As long as the Daedra think I still belong to Drusilla, they won't harm me. I appreciate that you came to get me. A little longer and who knows what Drusilla would have made me do. I won't forget what you did for me. Even a loyal servant can withstand the charms of a beautiful winged Daedra for only so long, you know. I saw a city from the top of the tower. I'll head there and try to find my dear Lady Laurent. Freedom is a wonderful thing, and I'm sure that dear Lady Laurent has missed me terribly. She really is lost when I'm not around to help her. The Mages Guild hired Lady Laurent and a few other scholars and treasure hunters for some sort of mission. I was never really made privy to the finer details. Anyway, Lady Laurent had me gather her equipment and follow her through a portal. Quite so. I must have blacked out. When I opened my eyes, a winged beauty was hovering above me. She took me in her claws and carried me to the top of that tower. Well, it wasn't that bad. Drusilla was very kind. For an evil Daedra. But she became infatuated. My natural charms, I suppose, but the more I refused her, the harder she pressed herself upon me. I'd rather not talk about this if you don't mind. That's excellent news. The poor dear really isn't cut out for taking care of herself. She depends on me for everything, you know.
Zohanil. We will not aid the outsider while our factions continue to argue about the fate of our beloved history.
The outsider has come, Anjin Saka, just as the history foretold. Perhaps now we can finally settle our disputes and do what is best for the Hist and for Nirn itself.
We shall see, Treeminder. We shall see.
Are you ready to help us, outsider? Will you undertake the trials? There are 2 trials, each designed to prove your worth to one of the factions here in Haj Uzith. The trial of spirit and the trial of body. One shall test your intangible qualities, the other your physical virtues. The trial of spirit is a test to prove your worth to the scholars of Haj Uzith. It shall challenge your mind and determine your strength of spirit. The trial of body is a test to prove your worth to Anjin Saka and his warrior faction. I'm sure it involves some kind of contest of strength and physical prowess. By successfully completing the trials, you shall show your worth and skills to our factions. Then you may participate in the great debate that has fractured our community for so long. Are you ready to undertake these trials? Do you wish to start the trial of spirit? This trial determines if your spirit can understand the spirit of my people. We cherish courage, which helps us face this realm's horrors. Endurance, which allows us to bear its hardships. And preservation, which keeps our traditions alive. Take these amulets and speak to the people on the South Pyramid. Give each amulet to the person that best represents its spiritual quality. For each correct match, you will receive a gem. 3 statues at the top of the pyramid represent the challenges our values must contend with. Place the gems in the correct statues to symbolize overcoming these challenges. Then meet me at the base of the pyramid when you have finished the trial.
You must be here for the trial of spirit. Know that I am the Lord Master of Haj Uzeth. I maintain the traditions and customs of my people. Of course. And which amulet do you think best matches my venerable nature?
I see the trial of spirit has begun. I am a go-between. I negotiate interactions between my people's two factions, as well as with the other inhabitants of Coldharbour.
Progress is slow, but steady.
Are you here for the trial of spirit? Then know that I am but a humble farmer dealing with whatever this strange land throws at me so that I can provide food for my people. One of Zohaniel's necklaces, I assume. And which one do you think matches my pragmatic outlook on life? Thank you. I deal with the hardships of coaxing food from this foul land. Without my dedication, who knows what my people would be eating? Please, take this gem of endurance. You'll need it when you go to the top of the pyramid.
Visitors.
Of course. Thank you. My role here is to preserve and pass on the traditions of my people so that each generation never forgets where we came from. Take this gem of preservation. You will need it when you go to the pyramid's upper level.
And Witch of Zoa, thank you. I need to be brave and resolute to negotiate not only with my own people, but with the sad and dangerous creatures that roam this twisted plain. Here, take this gem of courage. You will need it when you reach the top of the pyramid.
I don't know the tribe in the Grey Mire, but I know your deeds there. May the Hist remember you always, friend.
The outsider returns. And was your trial of spirit successful? Good. That means you understand the spirit of my people. You must still complete the trial of body, speak to Anjin Saka when you are ready to begin. You have proven yourself, as I knew you would. I shall answer what I can. The time of the great Argonian civilization was coming to an end, and our history feared what that would mean for its children. When Molag Bal offered a different solution, the history gladly accepted. We allow Molag Bal's minions to draw sap from the Hist tree. The only thing sustaining the Hist in this foul land is the crystal that Molag Bal gave us. But over time, the crystal has poisoned the Hist. It is dying. Our Hist cares for us, protects us. To preserve our culture, our history struck a bargain with Molag Bal. Now the crystal provided by the Lord of Brutality somehow keeps the Hist alive. But it cannot fully heal the poison in this soil. We believe that the crystal is one of Molag Bal's vampiric shards. Foul relics that corrupt whatever they come in contact with. The crystal only prolongs the suffering of the Hist. No matter the cost, that suffering needs to end. Yes, provided you prove yourself worthy to both sides. Our two factions argue over the ultimate fate of the Hist tree. Which is the better outcome? Eternal death or eternal suffering? And then, of course, there is your mission to this dread realm. We know that you have come to this realm with the Fighters Guild and the Mages Guild. We know that you seek to stop the plane meld that Molag Bal has orchestrated. We want to help you, but we can't while our people disagree. The Scholars, of which I am a part, believe that eternal death is better than the eternal suffering our Hist now endures. The Warriors, led by Anjin Saka, feel quite the opposite. Existence, they feel, any existence, is better than oblivion. If only it were that simple. Our Hist is weak, barely sustained by the crystal that feeds it. It hasn't spoken to us in a long, long time. But I have had dreams. They revealed your imminent arrival and hinted at your involvement in our debate.
You have completed the trial of spirit. Are you ready to undertake the trial of body now? Know that our arrangement with Molag Bal prohibits us from interfering with the Dremora who collect sap from the Hist. You, however, are under no such obligation. It has everything to do with the trial. It is the trial. Beneath the North Pyramid, Dremora gather sap from the Hist into great vats. They use treated wood to heat the sap and refine it, drawing forth its magical essence. Demonstrate your strength and physical prowess. Destroy the vats and disrupt their operations. If you add more treated wood to the fires, the sap will burn, and the vats will melt in the intense heat. Complete this task, and then return to me.
I've got a lot to do here.
Aval Higar took out.
The Outsider has returned. Well done, Outsider. That should give the Hist time to heal while the Dremora rebuild the refining vats. Nothing good, that's for sure. He covets the magical essence of the Hist sap and refines it into potions and elixirs, whose purpose we can only guess at. It's a perversion, but it is one we must endure. Then the time has come to choose. Do you agree that life, no matter the hardships, is sacred? Or do you side with the scholars, who would rather end the suffering and let our history die? If you settle the debate in the warrior's favor, then the history continues to live, and our civilization shall endure, just as it always has in this harsh land. Plus, my warriors shall stand at your side in your final battle against Molag Bal. The warriors believe that the history must survive, no matter the torments it is forced to suffer. The crystal must continue to sustain it, to keep the spark of life flickering despite the endless pain. Life is precious. The Hist must endure.
You have completed our trials, Outsider. Now we ask you to settle our long debate. Will you side with the Scholars, or with the Warriors? The Scholars believe that the history cannot continue as Molag Bal's slave. It withers away, but the crystal will not let it die. This cruel existence, this terrible suffering, it must come to an end. Oblivion is preferable to eternal torment. This outcome, while sad, is for the best. We shall give you a boon to help you in your struggle. Without the vampiric shard, the Hist will pass on naturally. But first, you need to convince Anjin Saka to accept your decision.
Have you made a decision, Outsider? I see, but our traditions allow a choice, any choice, to be challenged. You must defend your decision by defeating our champion in combat. If you cannot uphold your conviction through battle, then how can you expect us to honor your decision? Your conviction and certainty do you proud. Very well. The warriors will accept your decision.
The cursed shard has been destroyed. Currents of happiness and grief flow through the river this day. Thank you, Outsider. Because of you, the history's eternal suffering and enslavement shall finally come to an end. We shall mourn the Hist, but we shall also find solace now that its pain and torment is over. When you need us, we shall be there.
A new face. That's a rare occurrence. Welcome to the Ever-Full Flagon, friend. The Ever-Full Flagon has the finest mead. Don't drink the mead. Gemerth is dead. He was my daughter Nelhilda's mate. Her true love. I suspect the contents of that letter will break her heart. If she's sober. You must try our special blend. Do you like to celebrate? Everyone here is always celebrating something. Nelhilda and Gemerth were working to find a way to end this madness. Go upstairs and talk to Nelhilda. She has a plan. Yes, indeed. Everything is fine here at the Flagon. Plenty of mead, plenty of happy Nords. Can you have another mead? Of course you can! Very well, ask what you will, but be quick about it. We don't want to attract any undue attention. I'm trying not to arouse any suspicion. The Thane is always watching, listening. We must put on a good show. The celebrating has been going on for a long, long time. Who would have thought that an endless supply of mead could become such a curse? The mead's in here, so no, not many. Besides, those creatures out there aren't very friendly, and some of them were once our friends and neighbors. One day, though, Gemerth had had enough. Even his love for my daughter couldn't keep him here. Haven't you ever seen the results of a Daedric bargain before? Now please, go upstairs and talk to my daughter Nelhilda. She has a plan to save us all. And with your help, maybe this time it will even succeed.
You're not one of the regulars here at the Flagon. I can do this. I can resist the mead for my Gemerth. Father sent you. Good. I can use the help. The mead is enchanted. It muddles our minds and clouds our memories. But I may have found a way to purify the mead and stop the cravings it inspires. I need a rare magical flower, Kind's Tear, to make a potion. Unfortunately, the flowers are invisible. You need a Kind runestone to see them. There may be a runestone at the nearby abandoned shrine. I knew Gemerth was gone, but this makes it so much more final. He worked so tirelessly to find a way to end this enchantment. I'm determined to finish what we started. Gemerth believed it had something to do with a Daedric prince and a bad bargain. If that's true, we never figured out who struck the deal. All I'm certain of is that the mead is delicious, and it never runs out, and drinking it has cost us our souls. Yes, we stay inside and drink. We have no souls. We were afraid to die in this god-forsaken place. Nords without souls aren't welcome in Sovngarde, you know. The Thane does what he can to keep us happy, usually by opening another cask of mead. Not a one in the whole place. Some of us shrivel up and turn into the creatures outside. Others run off to die, like my Gemerth did. The rest of us drink. I abstain from the mead for a while, try to remember the old days. Then the craving returns. I've been fighting the craving, trying to find a way to break the spell. I want to save my father and the villagers if I can. As for my father, he was always a strong man. The mead never seemed to affect him the way it got to the rest of us. The flowers grow around the trees near the lake, but they only reveal themselves to someone who carries a runestone of Kind. There's a deserted shrine to Kind not far from here. You should be able to find a runestone there.
daughters and I will be delighted to feast on your blood.
came back. I was afraid I'd imagined our earlier discussion. My mind plays tricks on me, especially when the craving gets really bad. I wasn't sure any of the flowers survived the trip here. Coldharbour is a dead place, and Kyne is concerned with living things. If you found the flowers, maybe she hasn't abandoned us. I'll make the purifying potion now. I hope I remember the recipe correctly. It's been so long since I tried to do anything more complicated than downing a mug of mead in one gulp. One more thing. There. That should do it. Take the potion and pour it into the 3 casks. I need some mead.
My Nelhilda would thank you if she could. Oh, this is all my fault. I was just trying to save my failing business. Now look at us. These people used to respect me. I used to help them. I made a bargain, but I was tricked. I realized too late that the mage who promised to help me was likely a Daedric prince. After that, the flagon slipped into Coldharbour and we've been trapped here ever since. It used to be me that people turned to for help. When Hout showed promise, I bought him a lute. When Hreidi won a contest, I gave her dueling daggers. Nelhilda has gotten things rolling with your help. I want to help her, help my friends. Hout and Hreidi were admired in our village. If the enchantment is wearing off, they'll help me rally the others. It would help if Hout had his lute and Hreidi had her silver daggers. We can continue what Nelhilda has begun. Talk to Hout and Hreidi. Perhaps they remember where they hid the lute and daggers.
I used to sing for thanes and kings. I danced around and had many fine things. How about that? I made a rhyme. I've still got it. You're a curious one. I imagine the Thane is keeping his eye on you. You want me to reveal a secret, huh? Secrets are a bard's trade, after all. There should be a price. I know. A contest. A duel of words. If you win, amazing secrets will be told. Oh, you're angry. How positively adorable. When last I saw my beloved lute, I played a song for the lovely Juhilda. I struck a pose inspired by the statue outside her house, and I sang my heart out. Let me tell you, she was suitably impressed.
You look familiar. Were we flirting just a little while ago? I am a dangerous, dangerous woman. Even without my silver daggers, I could flay you. If you think you can threaten me, drink again. Think again. If you want my daggers, you'll have to duel me for them. I'm too drunk. Did I ever tell you I once had a pair of silver dueling daggers? Given to me by... Who gave them to me? I should remember. He was such a nice man. I was brave and fast with my knives. You should have seen me duel. You'll find them? Aren't you sweet? Let me think. I remember the Thane said it was too dangerous to drink and duel. He said I should destroy them, but I couldn't do it. So I hid them near the old mill. Please don't tell the Thane.
Knocked down an old man.
I've had just about enough of this.
I think everyone needs a drink. How about some more mead?
We don't want any more mead. Get out of here.
Your souls are mine. You may as well drink up and accept your fate.
Shush, Bones. We've been deceived.
I want to hear you beg, or I'll cut off the supply of special blend.
Where did he go? What just happened here?
Did you see? The villagers. They're starting to remember. The Thane threatened my daughter and I actually stood up to him. Of course, he knocked me down, but still. We're returning to our old selves. I'll return these to Hreidi and Hout. Ask them to help keep people's spirits up. During my confrontation with the Thane, he said he holds our souls. He laughed at me, said how amusing it was to see me agonize over my friends as they waste away. I think he keeps the souls nearby. He always comes and goes as he pleases. If you could destroy the Thane, our souls might return to us. Then we could leave this place. I think his lair is in one of the nice houses near the old well. Of course, my friend. I'll answer whatever I can. I realize now that he's likely the Daedric prince who offered me this deal. Or maybe his minion. Yes, that seems more likely. You must believe me, I thought this was between him and me. I never meant to hurt my friends in order to save the flagon. I'm not sure. I've kept this secret for so long, watching my friends waste away and give up hope. They'd hate me for what I've done. And rightfully so. And Nelhilda, she would never forgive me. I've heard whispers of a nearby city. They say it's a safe haven. I'll try to convince everyone to travel there with me. Even if we can't return to our world, I would feel better knowing that Nelhilda and the others were safe.
blood sack, or have your skull for a drinking cup.
I don't know what you did, but something changed. Everyone can feel it. Then the curse is broken at last. They'll hate me if they find out I caused the curse. Oh, we've lost so much. I need to make amends. But what would the truth bring us except more pain? My Nelhilda mourns for her beloved Gamirth. I need to find a way to help her. Maybe you're right. Nelhilda struggled to find the enchantment and she lost her beloved Gamirth. She deserves my honesty. I hope she can forgive me. Nelhilda, please, come here.
What is it, Father?
I need to get this off my chest. I made the deal that doomed us. I made the bargain with the Daedric Prince.
Father! Why would you do such a thing? I lost my love to this cursed place because you weren't selling enough mead? How can I ever forgive you for this? I never want to see you again!
Nelhilda was the only thing that kept me sane in this dread place. What will I do now? I beg of you, daughter, try to forgive me. What I did was a foolish mistake. I never imagined anyone else would be at risk.
I don't know what to do. I'm so angry at him. And yet, my father is all I have left. Look what my father's selfishness has cost us. How could he have been so foolish? That's asking a lot of me. My father always seemed more aware. I sometimes wondered if he knew more than he let on. But to have caused all of this suffering? My poor Gamirth. I know. I keep thinking about how kind he could be, always helping others. He did something terribly foolish, but I know he is not a bad man. I'll try to forgive him, but I do wish we could leave this place. We will go to the Hollow City. Some of the villagers may decide to stay here, where it's familiar, but that will be their choice. I grieve for the lost, but it's not in a Nord's nature to just give up. Thank you for helping us. I think I can forgive you, Father, though it may take time. For now, it's best if we leave this place.
Oh, my dear girl. I will do everything in my power to make this up to you and to the others.
Listen, everyone. We're going to the Hollow City. Join us! We're Nords, and we can handle whatever Coldharbour throws our way! Come, Father. We need to make plans to travel to the Hollow City.